Okay, so this is a Slackblock. It seems to be, people have asked a lot of questions about it. And this is kind of an update of why I really like this thing. There's some naysayers that see this on Rogue Fitness. If anything shows up on Rogue Fitness, chances are it's pretty good equipment. Might be expensive, but pretty good equipment. Naysayers will say, well, for 60 or 70 bucks for a Slackblock, it's expensive. Because all it is EPS foam, which I'm not sure if it's EPS, with a piece of wood on top. So, well, good luck cutting it into a trapezoid. Finding Baltic birch plywood, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 ply Baltic birch, putting grip tape on top and still coming out, and having the ability to drill out holes so it can be adjustable. I took the plugs out for under 70 bucks and not make it look completely janky. It's a great deal. It's probably arguably the cheapest thing on Rogue Fitness. Same price if you bought it from them or straight through Slackblock, Jim Plotman's company. Okay, so but back to the subject. This thing is awesome. As I've said before, when I first got asked to be on Ninja Warrior, I wanted to practice and work on my balance, but I wanted to do it safely because I was a bike racer, and having a broken ankle being a bike racer is suboptimal. And I remember seeing this. I think it might have been Kelly Starrett showing it in when he first got it, not too long after, watching him use it in his kitchen by the counter. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And he was talking it up. I didn't know what it cost, and I figured if Kelly's advertising it, not advertising, but Kelly's promoting it, it's probably not cheap. Because Kelly works with high-end stuff. But what I liked about it, and what he mentioned, is that it's a very safe but challenging way to work on your balance. And I think at the time he was rehabbing his knee or his hip. Fast forward to like a month into my ninja training and knowing I was going to be on the show, thought I was going to be on the show, season 12, I remembered that video and found it on the internet and ordered it from Jim. And what I liked about it was exactly what Kelly said, is that you can safely work on your balance. It's very challenging, but the risk of injury is very, very low because you're so low to the ground. And I wanted to simulate doing slackline. Keep in mind, I got asked to be on the show in the dead of winter. So I wasn't exactly going to put a slackline out in Washington, D.C. February weather. But this, I could totally try inside my garage. And that's what I love about it. And this is why I promote it. People ask, what's better, this or, I'll be right back, this or a Bosu ball. They all have their own pros and cons. But for me, I'm still, and I knew off the bat my balance was probably more advanced than I could do on a Bosu ball, even at its most challenging position, which would be inverted like this. But I still think the Bosu ball is awesome. But I also think that the risk of injury is a lot lower on a Slackblock. And a much more portable, just like Kelly did in his video. He had this in his kitchen counter, in his kitchen. Whatever he's doing. Hopefully he wasn't using a knife. But doing dishes on this could be fairly safe. But, or at your standing desk or whatever. Bosu ball, not so much. Sure, Bosu ball is versatile. You can do push-ups with it, but I've got all kinds of things I could do that with. Betsy, my wife, uses this all the time. And I think, hopefully I was a good influence on her, that she wanted to work on her balance. I got one of these last winter, and she took it up on her own, which was great. And I was happy, incredibly happy. So every couple of days when she's cooling down from her workout, she'll pull this out and do her work. I'm trying to get her on the Slackblock. That said, back to the Slackblock. I digress. I love it. The fact that you can adjust the squishiness by taking out the plugs is great. It's a hell of a lot more convenient than trying to adjust a Bosu ball. In fact, you know, I always kind of dread, even though it's just pulling out a plug and pumping it up, just having to mess with that and the fear of me snapping off the valve or whatever. And I'm technically inclined. No, but this thing's great because again, you're low to the ground, yet it's very challenging, and it's you can do all kinds of crazy stuff or basic stuff. You probably don't want to do the crazy stuff like I do, but for something so small and so portable and so light, and now people still working from home a lot, and people using standing desks, or even just you could take this to work. Taking a Bosu ball to work is probably not the most professional thing you could do, but if you were at a desk and doing this, it's a great way to burn calories and a great way to burn your to work on your balance. Highly recommend it. Again, it's probably one of the cheapest things you can find on Rogue Fitness, which is saying a lot. Totally worth it. You really can't make it. And I've got Baltic Birch in my garage, in my shed. It's a really nice product. And Jim's an awesome guy, and he's an amazing resource. I'm not paid to promote anything and any of this stuff, but he's just a great person. And everywhere that I turn now, you're seeing stories about how important balance is, especially people in my demographic. The AARP set that balance, you know, falls are statistically the -- cause of fatalities of people over 60 years old. It's a fatality. Yeah, actually, I think it's fatalities. Anyway, it's a huge problem, and not having the balance not having the prerequisite balance to minimize the chance of a fall, let alone having the strength enough to survive a fall is another problem. But baby steps. You got to be able to stand upright and not fall over in order to need that strength to survive the fall. So do yourself a favor, get a Slackblock if you can. I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching.